I can't believe Yandev is what yoinks me back out of the video making grave. Yoink Scoob. Hello everybody! Welcome to the cafe. On today's menu, grooming. And we're not talking about pets. Oh boy! So 3 years ago I put out a video on yanderedev, and you can give that a peep if you need context or a little refresher. Funnily enough, I was just thinking about that video. Kind of like a where is he now sort of deal. Imagine my reaction when the next day some stuff comes out about him. I had to do a double take. You know, speaking of putting that last yanderedev video out 3 years ago, I've been very quiet on YouTube the past couple of years. If you don't tune into my streams, which are now also on this channel instead of Twitch, nor peep my Twitter, hi everybody, I've missed you. I've had a few things grind me down to a halt. I moved twice. I hit rock bottom mentally, and I have been slowly recovering. I've been keeping my head down and quietly grinding commissions. I have a few huge videos in the works, but the topics are kind of old news now. And also, I don't like making people feel bad. It's lose-lose to talk about like art drama or just current news topics in general. Sure, they'll be requested, or sure you need like thick skin to do this kind of stuff, but I don't like actively hurting anyone. And the feeling that I might profit from, or someone perceives that I am profiting from someone's downfall, be it intentional or not, leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Honestly, that's the biggest contender. Letting people down or potentially being the catalyst for online harassment of someone is not what I'm here for. I want to make videos that are interesting, and I know that the complete opposite is unhelpful as well. So it's been me trying to find like a happy medium, knowing I'm covering something that I'm interested in and or that others would also like, while mitigating and minimizing harm that can be done. Damned if you do, damned if you don't, so I just gotta rip off the band-aid and make the things that I like. Things such as talking about e-slibs being awful, like Yandev. So with this one, I'm starting off with my normal speed paint voiceover, but in the middle we're gonna switch to an edited down version of a stream that I did recently, covering the video that has like the evidence and whatnot. If you are watching these videos mostly for the art, just a warning, there's gonna be a little switch up. Also, some usual disclaimers. One unusual disclaimer. Hi, I'm recovering from COVID, so if I sound boogery or nasally or disgusting, it's because I am. But that clock is still ticking, baby, so we gotta keep working. I'm making this video to cover a topic I'm interested in for awareness and entertainment. Some stuff may be difficult for some people. Also, videos are part of my job, so I try to monetize them. Forgive any goofy language or censoring used to navigate the doggone algorithm. If you want to support the channel or work towards uncensored videos, I have a Ko-fi with memberships, kind of like Patreon, and it also has products on it that you could buy if you like, or you could just send the coffee. Any whoosies, let's get off to the video. So the first thing I see is a person named Michaela Laws tweeting out that she is leaving Yandere Sim project, pulling her support as she doesn't want to be perceived as supporting the actions that harm others. This is not a choice I make lightly. I am suspending my participation from Yandere Simulator as a voice actress and voice director. I hope the game gets completed regardless, with or without me, as so much work and love was put into it. Thank you and have a good night. With a screenshot of a notepad thingamabobby. I'm a voice actor who simply voices characters. I voice a character in a game developed by an individual who is being helped by multiple volunteers like myself. I have not, nor will I ever condone actions that harms others, especially minors, in any capacity. So my opinion on the offending matter is irrelevant because I'm not at the heart of the issue. In terms of my voicing Yandere-chan, I am right now in a state of mourning. I voiced her and others in the game for almost 10 years, and my contributions to the project are almost innumerable. I walked in a volunteer, loyal only to the project's development and completion. I did not join to be a defender or arbiter of anyone's actions outside of the project. This is a serious issue, so this choice is not made lightly in any meaning of the word. I'm suspending my participation as a voice actress for Yandere Simulator. I still hope the game gets completed and have consented to my work to continue being used. with an exclusion of AI, which I will never consent to. This is followed by another voice actress, Caitlin Myers, tweeting her withdrawal as well. I'm not going to be making a big post, as honestly I'm completely disgusted. I will not be working on Yandere Simulator anymore going forward. It's been 10ish years and I've voiced a multitude of characters. I am grateful for the experiences and love I've had from the community. But having been 16 around the time I started working on the game, this sort of conduct from the creator is disgusting and unacceptable. There may be lines I had already recorded that show up in the game, but I will no longer support a project with someone like that running it. Frankly, seeing and hearing everything was incredibly disturbing for me. Adults, please stop talking to children on the internet. There's no reason or excuse for it. Wishing the victims the best. Then the first voice actress tweeted this: "If you are underage, stop trying to talk to adults. I don't care what your intent is. Stop trying to be an 80s band groupie just because some adult told you that you are quote-unquote mature for your age. If you're 18, I give my biggest sympathies for you being stuck in the middle of this. If you're an adult, stop talking to minors. I know 99% of y'all are not gross but there's literally zero reason to chat with a kid beyond teaching them how to not be a human. Be better yourselves, and be a better example for folks that look up to you." Allow me to clear up a misunderstanding. This is not a blame post. This is a warning post, as kids don't know which adult is safe to chat with. I fully believe some kids need this to be told to them, as some kids will still try to get into not safe for work spaces to chat with adults. I'm sorry to bring attention to a bad take like that, but I think it's necessary. For starters, even though she tries to claim the opposite, it's very victim blamey. Most of the time when a kid befriends an adult, they don't see it as being some sort of groupie. Regardless of what they think or feel is going on, it is not on them. The perspective from a teen's noggin in comparison to an adult's noggin in this kind of scenario are two completely different realms. Something that the adult always knows. You can warn kids until you're blue in the face, which can be helpful, don't get me wrong. Safety awareness and all, but the responsibility falls 100% to the shoulders of the adults. They know what they're doing. And that doesn't mean that kids or adults can never talk with each other either. There's always going to be, family, co-workers, or unique friendships that may have started when the adult themselves was a child and they just simply grew to adulthood. But the key ingredient there is that the adult in the situation is maintaining a healthy relationship with the younger person. That's what makes it okay, They know how to draw a line in the sand of what is appropriate and what isn't. That's why we have teachers and counselors, daycare workers and nannies. Adults that can be around younger people and even build relationships with them, but the relationships are appropriate. Be it a teacher-pupil relationship, sibling relationship, parent-child relationship, you get it. Any kids in these scenarios are not in any sort of fault, and I just wanted to make that clear, just in case. Sorry for that little spiel. Carrying on, you guys are probably wondering what the heckaroni and cheese pizza is going on, if you don't already know. Though given the context of the conversation so far, you probably have a bit of an inkling. Especially if you were already pretty familiar with Yandev prior to this, yeah, you probably know where this is going. This is where I switched to the old stream I was mentioning. In this stream, I'm listening to and reacting to a video that came out about the actual situation. The video, not mine, but the video I was reacting to was initially copy struck, shocker, and taken down, I believe, a couple times before this re-upload. This contains some interactions between yanderedev and, you guessed it, a minor, covered by some third-party creator. Let's take a look-see. Accidentally hid the...
A few words before we get started.
Here we go.
There have been a lot of developments throughout the process of making this video,
especially
in recent days leading up to its release. And in many ways, this situation is still ongoing, and there's quite a few questions that have yet to be answered. I've spoken with someone in association with yanderedev who was very respectful during our conversation, who just wanted to learn more about this situation like the rest of us, and I'll get into that more later. So I'd like to ask, please watch this video all the way through and be kind to everyone involved. Thank you.
What if I don't want to?
The situation within the past week, you probably know it's been quite a roller coaster, but for those who haven't, let's get everyone up to speed. Back in July of this year, I was contacted by a 16-year-old girl and fan of the game Yandere Simulator, who I will be referring to as Jane, and she alleged that she was actively being groomed and used throughout the summer by yanderedev, also known as Alex, creator of Yandere Simulator. and she was reaching out to me to help get her story and gathered evidence out to the public while keeping herself anonymous. Throughout the next couple months, she continued conversing with Alex as she had been while collecting more evidence of his behavior in the form of Snapchat recordings and voice call recordings. If you're a fan of Alex and you've somehow made it this far without throwing down a dislike and angry yet grammatically questionable comment and dipping out of the video, please watch this all the way through. In fact, if you're a fan, it's even more important that you watch this video, because anyone who still supports Alex in any way needs to see this. You need to know exactly who you're supporting and giving your time and money to. I'm going to play the voice recordings now and I'll give my own thoughts later, and I encourage everyone to form their own opinion. For full transparency, these recordings have been lightly edited to condense for time and pacing with unimportant small talk removed. There are some specific portions I'd like to highlight, but the context itself has
a little
not been
bit,
altered
but
in
it'd
any
be
way.
like that.
You go to like bars and stuff?
No, I don't go out. I just stay inside and work on the game.
You should turn your camera.
Oh, you'll see how old I am.
Look at you.
You're cute.
Yeah, exactly. You should. I will be too.
I don't feel good about it.
So he knows it's bad.
Oh, you're sweet.
I have a question for you.
What's your question?
I want you to like call guard or anything.
Go ahead.
You talk to other girls when you...
No.
Okay.
Wouldn't it make me a bad guy if I did?
It would make me, an upset person if you did.
You'd be upset?
And then it's just like, not like in a serious way, just like, you know, oh.
Am I a bad guy for talking to you? Should I stop talking to you?
No,
Hiya, you. Welcome, welcome.
well, I mean, like, you should, but please don't. It's like, you know, laws. I like
Laws,
it
sigh.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Do you think you can call like this more often?
Maybe. I had fun. You're funny. It's fun to listen to talk.
One from the high next time. That is
I,
regular.
I would also
No,
be very
she's high.
interested in interacting with you when you are regular. I
So
wanna
not
learn
only
what
is she
regular
super young,
you
but she's
is like.
under some sort of influence, bro. Come on.
High you is very cute and fun.
My hands were fuzzy.
Yeah, you do that a lot when you're high.
I do a lot when I'm
Is a Yandev chucking guess?
You're so cute.
saying that.
It's because you keep being cute. If you don't want to be called cute, then stop being so cute. It's simple logic. I thought it was just normal.
That's not normal size.
Oh.
What?
No, I think average size,
Average size what?
in the US is like 5.5.
Not the
Okay.
I don't know how to respond like
Ooh.
that. I don't know what to say about it. I don't have one, so I'm not like a penis expert.
No!
There's this one really important thing to remember, and that's that all the money I get is donations from people who want to support me.
Why
And
is
if
there
I
like
start
reverb?
working less, then they will think, oh, he's not working, he's lazy, I should not support this guy.
Why can't you start OnlyFans?
Okay, let's just hypothetically imagine I have an OnlyFans. Now, what do I post on the OnlyFans? You mean like just naked pictures of me? I don't think I'm good looking enough for anyone to want to subscribe to my OnlyFans.
What? Like,
When you turn 18, are you going to start an OnlyFans?
God, no.
Well, how can you recommend that someone else do it if you wouldn't even be able to do it yourself?
Like, personally, guys under 5'9" are just like,
So
Manly?
you're basically saying short men are not human and don't deserve humans, and you want them all genocided. That's basically what you're saying.
He's so
I'm only
ridiculous.
5'11". I'm barely, I barely meet the cutoff criteria for being a human in your eyes. What if I told you I'm only interested in girls with double D breasts? Anything less than that is just not attractive.
well, I mean, like, that's your preference, but do you understand how couch sizes work?
No. Big as a girl's head. I want them big as a girl's head.
I have what are considered, these are A cups, isn't that crazy?
Because you're so skinny?
Yep.
So it's like the ratio of the,
Like plus
the
ratio.
bust compared to, yeah, okay. Yeah, you're very skinny and that's kind of hot. Sorry, am I a bad guy for saying that? Should I go die?
No, no.
Am I a bad guy?
Am I a bad guy?
And I can see where they got the idea from, but with context, it's not.
Yep, that's my life right there.
The Reddit
I
post?
don't
No?
want it to be something that you're going to get mad at me for asking.
Uh-oh. Okay, go ahead. Just go ahead.
There was like a girl forever ago, and she said that stuff between you and her happened when she was 14. Is that like true stuff? I'm still
No.
curious.
Nope. There's a whole story behind why that accusation even exists, but it's like it takes a million years. I'd rather not talk about it if I could just explain it with text.
I understand. It's okay. It's okay. I'm just curious. I just wanted a yes or no answer. I don't care why she did it. I just wanted to know.
There was no girl, there was a guy who made a Tumblr page where he made up the fake identity of a 14-year-old girl. And he said, oh my god, like, I knew Yanderedev when I was 14. He said this and this and this to me. Oh my god, it's like an internet troll posing as a 14-year-old girl. Like, I could go to Tumblr right now and make a blog and say, oh my god, when I was 14, PewDiePie raped me, and like, I'd probably get a bunch of clicks and views. Oh my god, Mr. Beast, he touched my pussy. Because it's like, you put the name of a huge creator into the title of your whatever, and you can just get attention. There wasn't even any proof or evidence on the blog. People just ran with it.
Wait, hold on. Did you ever answer that question? I asked you if you were a virgin.
Yeah, then my phone rang. Very conveniently, I had to go flee to answer the phone call. Here's a question for you. What makes you think it's possible that I'm a virgin?
You asked me that, and I gave an answer. What was it?
You're like, maybe you were shy in college, and you haven't had any time to meet people because of Yandere sim.
Yeah, exactly.
If I'm a virgin, does that make me a pathetic loser?
Why would it make you a pathetic loser?
Oh, is he?
It's like, oh, this guy has no riz. He can't get any girl to sleep with him. Pathetic.
No.
No bitches?
Like, I'm half hoping you are.
No bitches.
Half hoping you're not. Because, like, if you're not, then, like, good for you, you had sex. But if you are, like,
You want to steal my first time? Well, I'm not very experienced with ladies.
I can tell.
Wow, okay, bye.
You just don't have any time. It was not like that. You just don't have any time.
Wow, so mean. You're such a bully.
Hi.
Hello there.
How are you?
Understandable, Luigi.
An
Take care.
average day for me.
You probably have like a whole tree of things
Yeah.
with all their little branches of ideas, all that. Because you have been working on the game since I was 7?
I've been working on it for, I've been working on it since 2014.
Oh yeah, I was 7. I was 7.
You're
I don't know, it's weird. It's weird to process that. So, I know that the official is...
Why her voice sound like that? There's a filter to protect her identity.
Are 18, but like, is it high school?
No, it's a post-high school academy.
What?
Huh. So how old is everyone?
Everyone's 18.
Is like 18 or like 18 plus?
Everyone in the, well, I mean, there's like adults, like the teachers are older than 18. The headmaster is like 60, but all the students are 18.
Oh, that's weird. I feel like high school age makes more sense.
It would make more sense, but then everyone would complain, oh my god, the characters are under 18, so I have to contrive a story that makes them over 18. Or 18.
Because everyone gets so mad about kids, because, like, you can't sexualize minors. I mean, you can't disagree with that without sounding like a creep. There's nothing I can really say about that.
Mother Nature sexualizes minors.
Stop!
Puberty starts to give breasts and wide hips to children before they turn
Stop!
18.
Stop! Stop!
It's not
Stop!
like,
Stop!
you know,
Stop!
a person does it to a child. The child's own body does it to themselves. It's not like an adult can go to a
Just
child
because-
and cast a magic spell that gives them breasts.
Oh my
Haha,
god!
I've sexualized you.
Having like pubescent characteristics, like physical characteristics, does not mean that you are inherently sexualized. You are developing. I want to slap him. I want to slap him. Why is he like this? Exactly. Just because you have those bits and bobs doesn't mean that you're ready for the action. He is. Oh, I hate that sort of explanation so much. Just because you can reproduce doesn't mean that you should. Also, let me throw a little something out there. A little factsicle for you guys. Just because you can give birth at like 12 doesn't mean that you should. That does not mean that you're at your prime. There are many unfortunate cases of very young people passing away from complications of childbirth because they were too young. Like, it's puberty's a process. It's not like the flip of a switch. And that's why there's multiple components that makes you sexually mature. That's why your brain, your maturity, your age has so much to do with it. Does he hear himself? I wonder if he, like, after those words escaped his lips, if right afterwards he was like, maybe I'm a dipshit.
I gave you breasts, and the child is like, no, the child just does it. The child's body does it automatically. A child gradually becomes an adult over time because of puberty.
Yes.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Doing it. What, does it sound silly when I freeze it?
It sounded really silly.
But it's true, though.
But it's true, though, wrist flip.
This weekly challenge in size. It is so hard.
What's the weekly challenge? Don't masturbate.
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
To be some discourse.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Bro? What's the challenge? What's the weekly challenge for a ghost game? Disgusting.
Over the severity of the evidence provided, as is typical whenever someone with an adoring
True,
fan
bestie.
base is exposed for acting in a less than decent manner. In my opinion, while the evidence doesn't prove anything outright illegal, because unfortunately, as creepy as it is, there's no law against an adult simply having a sexually charged conversation with a minor, because sadly, the law doesn't do shit to protect children, it just waits until they're significantly harmed to take action afterwards. I feel that this could have easily been a stepping stone for further behavior that would qualify as breaking the law. A significant component of grooming, especially over the internet, is the normalization of topics. If this relationship had continued on, who knows what would have happened in the future? Especially with certain Snapchat conversations, I don't want to assume Alex was basically waiting for Jane to turn 18, but there are aspects of this that definitely start ringing some alarm bells for me. At Jane's request, I had put together a 3-hour documentary-style video essay detailing some of Alex's past behaviors and mannerisms that could have been viewed as a precursor to these allegations. Then I also sat down with Jane for a total of 4 hours worth of interviews to get her own story in her own words.
That's
Everything was done to her specifications. She was involved every step of the way, and I would routinely send her segments of the video for approval. The video was set to be published on Friday, September 22nd, but as we were approaching the intended release day, one of her friends posted a TikTok with snippets from some of the audio recordings at Jane's request that went viral, and Alex caught wind of the upcoming video being produced. Following this, there were a series of frantic conversations taking place over Snapchat where Alex was severely guilt-tripping and manipulating Jane to stop the video, even asking her to lie on his behalf and threatening legal action, according to her. Here are some of the other Snapchat conversations that Jane managed to record throughout the course of their relationship.
If I say wait 2 years and try again, does it technically count as grooming? Yes. I think so, legally, yeah. You can't go from sexual talks with a minor to saying, wait until you're legal to continue this with me. That's, I think, the definition of grooming. But if I say, whoa, don't say that until you're 18, the subtle change in phrasing makes it not grooming. It's not grooming when you just stop the interaction altogether. You should not be interacting with this girl whatsoever. Perhaps? Not sure. I think anything I'm playing, you'll wait for me to be 18 is grooming. And okay, this is different. Oh, I look forward to the videos. I bought so many low-rise jeans. Those are my favorite. Wait, about the videos. Do you want me showing off the clothes or actually putting them on and being undressed and stuff? No! Well, that would be super erotic. No. Seeing you dress and undress. I'm just not sure what kind of stuff to send. CP is illegal and all, but if you don't care, that's fine. Okay, I don't have a problem with it, but if anyone found out, they would. Is there a way I could convince you? I'm just a year and a half away from 18. Is it honestly that different? I seem desperate. Oh, poor baby. Yeah, I think about that sometimes. 17 is 94.4% of 8. Bro. So therefore, being attracted to a 17-year-old girl is 94.4% okay. He's so cringe, dude. Imagine the riz of a guy that slides into your DMs. Well, it's 94.4% okay. Bruh. 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 I'm gonna put out my 2 cents, and forgive me here. When you are like 21 and you want to date a 17-year-old, it's a little bit less weird, right? It's still weird, but it doesn't like feel as weird as when you are, let's say you're 38. The older you get, the more that gap between your teenage years gets, and the weirder and weirder it gets. Like, he knows damn well. It's even weird, like, if you're 38 dating a 21-year-old, even though it's perfectly legal, it's still really weird, because you know the difference. You know the difference. You're in two different places in your life. A 20-year-old is so much more immature than a 38-year-old. Like, a 38-year-old's gonna want to settle down, usually be serious. Oftentimes they want kids. They want their entire lives structured around this stable relationship, whereas a 20-year-old, you're still learning what life is, what life means to you. Even if you think you know what you want in life, you might not know, and things might change, and blah blah blah. You're still developing mentally. You haven't had a whole bunch of experiences that this other person has had, so they might be feeding you things like, we could be lasting forever, we're perfect for each other, blah 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 blah. And then the 20-year-old, you're gonna believe it, just like you would an adult talking to a minor. So even though that you're not a child, there's still like a discrepancy of where you are in your life, and he knows this. So making up the excuses like, actually 94.4% okay because you're almost 18, it's still weird. The day she turns 18, it's still weird. If she were 19, it'd still be weird. He's a 38. Is he really 38? Wait, hold up. I made that number up as an example. I'm gonna find out his real age. NSFW. Can I find out how old he is? He's 35, so it's close. It's still old enough to be like, this is weird. Alright, carrying on. Well, only a few months until I'm 17. And he says, like, the physical difference between a 17-year-old and an 18-year-old is like less than a 6% difference. Shut the f up. Shut the f up. Stop. Stop. He's so cringe. Oh my god, if a guy said that to me in the DMs, not even regarding being a minor, just like about anything, I think I couldn't be any further from being turned off. So being attracted to a 17-year-old is nearly identical to being attracted to an 18-year-old. It's not really a black and white thing where a person transforms overnight as soon as they turn 18. It's a slow transformation over time. Oh my god. This man is lacking common sense. I think it is okay for him to feel attracted to her body just in general, or her appearance, and like keep, like, it's just left there. It stops there, you know? Like, you look nice or you look cute, and like keep it to himself in his chest, I think is okay. But like, to manifest a relationship, to pursue something, that's the problem. To be attracted to how easy of a grab she is, so to speak, because she's young and you can easily talk her into something, you know? That's where the problem lies. If the age of consent was actually about keeping children safe, it would be 26, since that's when the brain is fully developed. This girl's cooking, she's onto something. The origins of age consent laws had to do with voting rights. It wasn't actually about not having blinkerino time with kids. It was about giving landowners and married people more rights. Yes, because child marriage used to be completely legal. Yeah, I know about all that, but my personal opinion doesn't matter. Whether or not I think it's immoral, it's still illegal for me to be having a romantic / sexual conversation with someone under 18. Woo! Let's be real, his brain isn't fully developed at 35. Should be nice. Be nice. Yeah, no one in law enforcement would find out though. Personally, I have too much stuff going on in my house to ever have police anywhere near it. I'd have to take down my whole garden and that would strongly impact my source of income. So I won't be dealing with cops. Oh, baby girl, no. Yeah, I know, but if you ever decide F that yanderedev guy, you could anonymously release screenshots of some horny statement I made towards you. I could, but I haven't saved any screenshots. And you'd see if I did. This account has no ties to you. Now your name, not your Bitmoji, it looks like a fake account, and you never confirmed that you added me on Discord. I suppose people would believe me just because they can. That's how Twitter works, but there are already a lot of people saying you DM them stuff. It wouldn't have any more substance or validity than the current rumors. Well, I wouldn't take a trip to the other side of the country at this point in time, and I am not emotionally available right now since 90% of my time and focus is on game development right now. Oh, I'm sure it is. So really, no! I read the rest of that sentence before the words came out of my mouth. Oh god. So really, the only thing for me to get out of this are lewd pictures and videos to which which I'll provide if you promise to keep it a secret. Oh, heart. I would keep it a secret, heart. Distribution of cheese pizza is illegal for both parts. I can't press charges without also being charged. Unfortunately, she is right. And I do not want people in court looking at my nudes. I'd KMS. And I have a single dad, so I'd be disowned. I do have to... No, 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 no. I hate this. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I do have to warn you that I don't shave anything, though. Not allowed to buy razors. Well, I'm not going to specifically, explicitly say, send me news now, please. Oh, well, I like hot ladies. Can I change the chat delete settings? Every time I leave and come back, I forget what I said, but it's up to you. Sure, but I might get real silent and not say much. That's okay. If you want me to change the chat settings back, I will. I don't want you to... Well, okay, you talk me out of it. Nothing for me then. No! Oh my god, this is exactly like this is genuinely grooming behavior. Well, okay. I'm gonna manipulate you into feeling bad for me. What the scallop? Oh my god, that's my favorite thing. Thank you for that. And the fact that she's apologizing, that's exactly the intended result. I'll send things I promised. No! No. And she did. And he replayed that snap. He's like, let me get another look at that. And then he says, oh wow, that's so hot. Oh my god. Thanks, lol. I'm getting nice abs.
This next recording is quite a long one, but it's the final piece of evidence that Jane sent me, which shows clear coercion and manipulation on Alex's part, guilt-tripping her and exploiting her feelings for him to get her not to come forward.
No more text chats. Ugh. Dude, this really sucks. So it is counterproductive to let the video happen. Oh, is he referring to like the... Ooh. Ooh. But I lost respect and admiration for you with the My-chan's daily life stuff. I didn't get into it with you, but I dealt with some serious childhood things. Oh, come on. It was a manga I read 20 years ago. I'm not saying I enjoyed it. You seemed really bubbly when talking about it in VC. It was just weird and made it stick in my memory, which I didn't record on audio. I just don't know how to feel on either side right now. I feel guilty because I looked up to you for years. But this relationship was totally not okay. I'm 16. I thought she was 17. Or is this older? That makes no sense. No! More groomer behavior. I'm so lonely and miserable. Please feel sorry for me and show me your boobs. Of course, the one time a girl's actually nice to me, I got attached. Woe is me. The one time a girl's nice to me because I'm such a cringe motherfucker. You throw it all away. Please feel sorry for me. You were so fun and funny and charismatic. It made me want to keep talking. Not the boobies. Just our conversations, because you have an A+ personality. I'm not an evil P-word who goes around R-wording little girls. Yeesh! I'm getting that demonetized sign. It's okay though. I'm a No! No! No, 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 no. 35. He's 35. Oh my god. I just aged an additional 10 years. I'm a lonely, vulnerable man who made the mistake of being flirty to a girl who was a bit too young. Oh my god. Honestly, throw me down a flight of stairs. I know, that's how I personally felt. Please don't let this happen. Let what happen? But it isn't okay. Could you take accountability in the exact way you just phrased it? And then I won't have to let the video happen. But people already know. I can't take it back. It's your profile with your voice. Oh my god. I don't fully understand. What is it that you are asking me to do? Yeah, you could do that. If not, I don't know. I'm kind of panicked right now. Well, me too. Panicking for about 16 hours now. My heart is all up. When you said heart palpitations, I could relate to that. I can't breathe or focus at all. I'm in full panic attack mode over this. I understand. I don't know what to do. Can we VC or is that off the table at this point? It's just getting hard to type because my eyes are watery. Disappoint the people since destroying a man's life is not worth it. It's all about him. It's all about him. Comparing being gross to a minor to whoopsie daisies. I did a little It's so gross. Yeah, it is. I know better than to VC with you. You have shown me what the consequences are. I could be recording these texts right now though, so either way. I haven't even said anything villainous in these texts. Just, this is effed up and I don't deserve this. Okay, bud. Okay, bud. I feel like I'm exposing a boyfriend, but you're 35 and you have some weird views. Just a lot of things. I don't know. Oh my god. Please spare my life. I haven't done anything so bad that I deserve to lose everything. Absolutely everything. Forever. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I don't know what to do. This should be an easy call. Yeah, to blast your ass. I have a life outside of this with way worse things going on. And I don't know what to do. Oh, me too. Nothing else compares. If you were genuinely sorry, you'd save me. Oh, he's the worst. He's the worst. I might, but I need to think. I really need to think. I won't get anything in return if I save you from this. Please do not bring this much harm into someone's life to entertain some people on the internet. Bruh. It's not for entertainment. It's to try to protect other girls from doing the same thing. You dingus. It doesn't benefit me at all to save you, but what if there are other girls? Exactly! What if you were lying? What about cisfs? I don't know who that is. Please do not do this to me. If you truly traumatize people, you need to be held accountable. I don't feel traumatized, but in 10 years I might. And then what? You are the one traumatizing me. I'm sorry. This here is trauma. This is abuse. This is power imbalance. I'm being... No, he did not. I'm being emotionally abused by you. She says I'm 16. You have this massive blackmail over me. You saw her naked body, did you not? I was a fan. I could do nothing for you. I feel like you're right, which is making me feel awful. That's more manipulative and grooming behavior. I can do nothing to you. I feel like you're right, which is making me feel awful. I really don't want to ruin your life, but I also think I have to. I'm a lonely, sad game developer. You are a girl who secretly records because I'm the only one with proof. You do not have to do this. Please do not do this, please. Dev, I really think I need to. No, you don't. I'm not a villain. I'll sit on this. I have done nothing wrong. Bruh, you are really persuasive. Exactly. This evil teenager just groomed and ruined a 35-year-old adult who was soliciting nudes from her. A girl was flirty to me, and I was vulnerable. Shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. I was vulnerable. I'm just a lowly, vulnerable 35-year-old adult man, and you took advantage of that. A child who goes to school and has teenage drama to worry about. So I flirted back. I flirted because I'm suffering. Oh my god. I'm not an evil, traumatizing editor. I'm sorry. I think you're right. I'll talk to Bug right now. I'll let him know. Ask him to take down the videos, but I need to contemplate the stuff with Allie. I would be eternally grateful to you if you saved my life. Would you? There is good in you. You can make the right decision. The right decision is putting your horny ass on blast. There's no reason you can't just talk to an adult woman who's not your fan. What would you do? Let's see. Well, first, I would need some time to calm down and recover from the worst experience of my life. Not that it's self-inflicted or anything.
Okay, the person that made the video is refusing to take it down. You can say, I know what the laws say, but I don't want to risk it. It is my decision as the victim. Bruh? Is he like coaching her? Yeah, he's coaching her on what to say. Oh my god. Nah, there's no getting out of this one, bro. It's my recording, so it's my decision to make, not yours. You could be forceful with them. Make it clear that your word is final and he does not have a say in the matter. Sir, I know what you're saying, but also it's the internet. Like, it's already over. You could really try, but it's already over. Dev, I don't like this. This is textbook grooming. After this experience, oh my god, shut up. After this experience, I will never want to talk to a minor for the rest of my life. Well, you shouldn't have to begin with. He says this is anti-grooming. Bro? Mission accomplished. I am trying to convince a minor to stop being entangled with my life. Then just close the fucking app, dude. Stop talking to her. So this really is as far from possible as grooming. You already groomed. Like, it's already happened. You don't, like, reverse it. You already did it. I don't think that's how it works, based child. You're good at twisting situations. Master manipulator, I don't know. Yeah, kind of seems like it. Oh my god. This next line is so infuriating. I'm seeing red. I'm seeing red. I wonder what the parents think. Yeah, Sam, they probably don't know, but I don't know for sure. This next line, I need all the strength in the world. He said this with his whole grooming is like, mwahaha. I will ensure that I boink this girl when she turns 18. Mwahaha. He's so infuriating. He's so infuriating. Insanity. This line, I can't get over it. I can't get over it. Is he being for real? Like, I almost wish I could, like, go up to him personally and be like, look at this little line you just typed, and I want you to, like, read this. Like, look at this. Sit on this for a couple of minutes. And if you don't understand what's wrong, there's no hope. There's just none. He's doing everything he can to save himself. It's not working. He's not being very successful at it. You were just casually flirting with and engaging in stuff with a minor, not planning to get with me when I'm 18. No. It gets worse. It gets worse. Meanwhile, here's me being like, damn, I am lonely, and this girl's the only person on earth that's nice to me, which should be a red flag about yourself. Look inwards. But I'm starting to get a little too comfortable with this. I don't know. Look inwards. Look inwards. Reflect upon yourself. Why is it that it takes a 16-year-old fan with a power dynamic that's imbalanced for a female human being to just be nice to me? You should really look inward. Bro, he's like unironically like an actual incel. A groomer would have tried so hard to spend time with you, play Phasmo, show on webcam, etc. Instead, I avoided these things. No, you're trying to protect your ass. People like him don't have the capacity to look inwards. It's really obvious, like his past history and everything. You could tell that he wants to hold everyone in the world but himself responsible for his misery. Oh, come on. I would pay money, like, okay guys, I'm super out of shape. I've been out of shape for like 2 or 3 years. But I would still pay money to be dropped into a pit alone with him and just get to duke it out. Like, to fist fight him, it'd be so awesome. I was distant because I prefer to be very distant from any minors or grooming behavior and not engage in it even 1%. Oh, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. You're the worst. You're just the worst. I really feel that this establishes that I am not an evil villain with dirty intentions. Yeah, for sure. I can't tell if she's being sarcastic or not. A real predator jumps at the chance to ensnare a minor, whereas I was distant as hell. He's really trying to convince himself. That's not how it works. God, I hate this stuff. We'll see, I guess. Ellie's asleep. So I'll wait for tomorrow to talk about that. Sorry for stressing you out. Baby girl, stop apologizing to this man. Sorry for panicking you and almost ruining your life. It's not her fault. It's not her fault. It's not her fault. None of this is her fault. My future is still in grave danger, but I appreciate your effort to prevent the video. I'm really sorry. Stop apologizing. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. As long as you take steps to reverse what's happening, everything will be okay in the end. Maybe you shouldn't have Man, I hate this man. I hate this man. I hate this man. Thank you for seeing a reason.
To be perfectly
Fuck this
clear,
man.
Alex has admitted to multiple people that these Snapchat conversations and voice calls did in fact happen and that he did participate in them. I know there have been many fans recently not wanting to believe someone that they look up to could turn out to have done something so repugnant. So there were many claims from the fan base saying that the audio clips are an AI or the Snapchat isn't actually Alex. Anything attempting to preemptively discredit Jane, the evidence, and even myself. To an extent, I can understand it's hard to come to terms with a person you idolize doing something awful, but I can confirm Alex's admission to these texts and calls, and I hope in the near future he will do the right thing and make his admission public as well. And unfortunately, with Jane being a huge fan of Alex and being greatly infatuated with him, his coercion worked, and Jane wanted to back out and retract her allegations.
Oh,
She
poor
even posted a
baby.
comment on another creator's TikTok video stating that he convinced her that ruining his career was bad. And really, I think that says it all right there. Following this, I was unsure if I would be posting this video at all, because from the beginning, I made it a priority for her to maintain full control of how her story is told at all times. That's something I pride myself on in the very few situations like this I've been involved in the past, is always putting the victim first. And so I told her throughout this entire process that if she ever changed her mind and didn't want her story to be shared, I would respect her decision. But that was if she came to that conclusion on her own, and sadly, I hadn't anticipated if someone she alleged was actively abusing her for months would push her into silence and not seeking proper help that she had so passionately wanted throughout this entire process. Not just for herself,
Yup.
but for other alleged victims of Alex as well, who have been in contact towards the end of the original video being put together. At this point, after discussing with Jane's friend, the alleged victims, and others involved, we were unfortunately put into a situation where we had to decide between Jane's wishes and the wishes of all the other victims who also couldn't speak out for themselves, and were begging us to post the video with the accompanying evidence to expose Alex for what he's allegedly done to numerous young girls. We were forced to decide if, at this point, this project had come so far that it had to leave the victim's hands, meaning Jane, and enter the public responsibility. Because without the evidence, and especially with Alex convincing her to backtrack her previous accusations, he would face no accountability, and we had to consider if this just meant he would become better at hiding potential future abuse. Would we just have to sit around and wait until this happened again to another girl? If we were to do nothing and this whole situation blows over and someone else did end up becoming victimized, we would feel at least partially responsible for not taking action when we had the chance to prevent it from ever happening. As I mentioned at the beginning, I've spoken with someone associated with Alex who wanted to learn more about the situation, being just as concerned for Jane's safety and well-being as the rest of us. And of course, being someone who is far closer to Alex than I will ever be, we had some differences of opinion, but there were also many things we agreed on. And while they don't agree with this video moving forward, they understand why those of us involved feel that it's a necessity. It was a very respectful and productive conversation, and I would like to sincerely thank this person for being cordial and reaching out to me. Unsurprisingly, though, this person denies that Alex ever had any malicious or illegal intentions with Jane, though I feel with what Alex has said in these voice calls and text messages, the best case scenario, he led this girl on to allow her to view that they were in a romantic relationship and didn't shut it down despite having many opportunities to do so over the past several months. And worst case scenario, he's done some very illegal things. And with those options, I am not taking any chances, because I personally don't trust Alex enough to give him the benefit of the doubt. Even if Jane is lying about certain things, which I'm not saying she is at all, he still allowed these interactions to happen. Jane is a child, and he is the idolized public figure with millions of followers. She's compared coming forward with her allegations to a breakup with a boyfriend. So obviously she feels hurt and affected in some type of way because he allowed it to get there. So after much discussion with everyone involved, it was a unanimous decision that we'd gotten the ball rolling on this video and there was no turning back, especially with details and portions of the evidence already made public. A video with the evidence would be posted in some form. However, I went back and modified Jane's audio clips to disguise her voice, as that hadn't been done for the original video, and we decided not to include her testimony given during our interview, which had been retracted in its entirety. It felt like a decent compromise with wanting to bring the evidence to light while also acknowledging Jane's desire to now be completely uninvolved. Since her retraction, she's been doing a lot to try to
Oh, no.
diminish the abuse, all for Alex's sake. It's a bit ironic because throughout the interview I conducted with Jane, we chatted quite a bit about the recent Colleen Ballinger situation, another YouTuber accused of grooming her underage fans. And it became a topic of conversations partly because Jane has been closely following the story and is a big fan of Adam McIntyre, one of Colleen's alleged victims who has been very outspoken about her wrongdoings. And in that particular case, when we've talked about it, she is able to objectively recognize inappropriate behavior from an adult. But unfortunately, she's got too many feelings wrapped up in this instance and wants to protect Alex at all costs. And this is why I and everyone else involved with the situation feel that the proof of Alex's misconduct needs to be made public, even if it goes against Jane's wishes right now. Make no mistake, continuing on and sharing Jane's story without her sickens me to my core. As a victim myself, it feels foul, because the last thing I ever wanted to do was further violate a victim's consent or remove their autonomy. However, this has grown bigger than one singular person, and people need to know about this. They need to know what Alex has done and make an informed decision on whether they want to support him or not, especially with much of his fan base still being underage. I'm aware that many people may strongly disagree with this decision to proceed with the video, and I completely understand and respect that viewpoint. So likewise, I hope everyone understands and respects the position we were in, choosing whether or not we would allow any potential further abuse to happen and more alleged victims to be harmed. We truly believe we've made the best decision for everyone involved under these circumstances. So, where do we go from here? It should go without saying, I would highly advise against support in any form for Alex or his game. That includes views on his streams and videos, financial support of any kind, and yes, it also includes interacting with and playing Yandere Simulator. That's just my personal suggestion, and I'm not going to demand what anyone does with their lives. Before Alex or any of his more rabid fans start crying, "Cancel culture," Alex is not entitled to an audience. He is not entitled to anyone's money or their time to watch his videos or play his silly game. He is not entitled to a platform, especially when he uses it to do something as heinous as participating in inappropriate conversations with his underage fans and then pressuring them into silence when they decide to come forward. Alex is not the victim when the power imbalance leaned heavily in his favor, and as the adult and public figure with tremendous amounts of influence and control over his very young and impressionable audience, Alex should have the wherewithal and the responsibility to say no. The onus was completely on him to put a stop to it, and he should have ceased all private communication the moment Jane said she was 16, but he didn't. Any consequences he faces from his own actions are his own doing. Of course, I'm much closer to this situation than I ever intended to be, and do admit that as a victim myself, I have tremendous survivorship bias. But I don't believe he is allowed to say, "Oh no, I'm so hurt, please pity me," when he gets burned from a fire that he set ablaze. The evidence
True.
clearly speaks for itself, in which even he acknowledges several times what he is doing is wrong, but he continued doing it anyway and even tried to provide some warped justifications for why it's okay, actually, that he's engaging in very sexually charged conversations with a minor. It does not matter if she messaged first. It does not matter if she went along with his sexual advances. It doesn't matter if she wanted his attention. She is a child. Someone who is neither physically or mentally or emotionally mature. And Alex is a 35-year-old man discussing his penis size, virginity status, breast sizes with a child, calling a child hot, telling a child it would be so erotic to model outfits for him, telling a child he could get lewd pictures and videos to to and that he'd keep it a secret if she provided them, discussing how biology sexualizes a child and so much more. There is no context or explanation that will ever make any of this acceptable. He made the choice to engage in this behavior when it should have never been allowed to happen in the first place. I'm sorry to sound like a broken record, and thankfully I know this does not need to be made any clearer for like 98% of people watching this video. But every single time in these types of situations, no matter who I'm talking about, there's always those select few who try to justify or excuse or diminish misconduct. And my patience and understanding for those still among his fan base with their rose-colored glasses on only goes so far. As for Jane, I know you may hate me. I will understand if you do, and I wouldn't blame you one bit. I've said it before, and I will say it again. I urge you to take some time offline and connect with some IRL friends or family who can support you. And think about the honest truth. If he truly did nothing wrong, he wouldn't have asked you to lie about it. There are plenty of other adults who find this relationship and behavior of his conducive to and grooming. I understand you don't want to feel like you're ruining his life, but he is responsible for his own actions. No matter what you may have done, you did not deserve for this to happen. And the guilt and shame for anything is not yours to bear. And you have people who will be there for you to support you when or if you want it. To emphasize this point further, I do not condone hate or harassment towards anyone, and I ask that especially in regards.
Do we really need to listen to the rest of this?
And the muck. Sorry to put you through all that. Pretty, gross. You can tell towards the end that he manipulates this girl into feeling bad about the conversations being made public, and that it's all on her shoulders, and that she's ruining his life, which of course makes the poor thing panic and want to retract everything. And she tries to damage control via Reddit. I'm the victim. Please drop the situation. Yanderedev isn't a saint. We all know this, but he didn't seek me out. He wasn't trying to groom me, and recording his calls with me was very, very illegal in my state. I've spoken to him about court, lawyers, everything. At this moment, he is not taking any legal action against me, and is not actively threatening me. He would have every right to take me to court if the videos were published, so please just drop it. He isn't an abusive predator, just a lonely weirdo. He never pressured me to do anything, and never verbally abused me. Though the 19-year age gap is admittedly kind of he never used it to make me feel less than or vulnerable. I'm not saying he's a good person, but the situation is very specific, and I don't want anyone else in my business. I did not block anyone, but I did leave the Discord servers of certain people who are making my situation public. Ultimately, the most illegal thing, being 100% proven in those videos, is me recording him. This started off as laughing at weird things he would say in a small group chat, and now I, the victim, feels being blown out of proportion. Bad behavior? Absolutely, but not abusive, and I am not traumatized. Please just drop it. This poor thing. Ugh. It doesn't matter that he didn't seek you out. It's so frustrating because if any other adult creator got DMs from an underage fan, the conversation would be like, thank you so much for supporting my content. Or maybe, true Chippy, tell them. Or maybe answering content-relevant questions. And that is it. You would not be seeing personal conversations. So you have to ask yourself, why is he even humoring them in the first place? And no, being a vulnerable, lonely old man is not a valid answer. Inherently recording discalled calls is not illegal either. Feels like it's just a scare tactic, and one that I highly doubt he'd go through the effort to take her to court over, even if it was legit. And even if he won a case against her, it's not like she would go to jail. At worst, she would pay some sort of fine for damages, and that's just not gonna happen. And it's disappointing that in some way he won her over in making her think that she can't do this. It's also sad to see that she doesn't understand that he did pressure her. He guilt-tripped her when it didn't go in his favor, even if she brought the idea to the table first. It is a manipulation tactic, and it is a form of pressure. He also voluntarily opened her pictures, replayed them, made comments on them, and went on mini rants trying to justify his behavior. I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, honey, that's just grooming. Not abusive? Yes, it is. And not traumatized? Like, do you not see how you were acting? This poor baby, y'all. She also posted this, which also got removed. I have constantly asked Ali MC and Bug to stop. Please drop this. Don't release the video. I'm uncomfortable with it. Please respect my wishes, please. And in the screenshot, Ali MC says, I really started to believe that that's just the fear talking now that we're so close. There's nothing Alex can do to hurt you. You deserve to finish this. Please just believe me when I say you will feel such immense relief. Once everyone sees him for what he really is, it will help you so much. And the girl says, you've been telling me that you'd scrap the video, and that's my choice. Could you please just not release it? I'm scared for the outcome. I'm also overwhelmed by a lot of things right now. I just don't want it. And then a third post, she had somebody else post for her with her writing titled Disrespecting the Victim. So you've probably seen a TikTok claiming that Dev groomed a minor, and there's video recordings of it. I'm the minor, and I'd like to give my side of the story. First, here's proof of my identity, and she puts a link here to a Vocaroo link of her voice. Same voice as in the TikTok claiming that Dev is grooming a minor. I messaged Dev because I'm a fan. He usually doesn't do voice calls, but after 2 months, he finally agreed. He was so distant at first, but eventually he loosened up and started making jokes. Some of his jokes were so quotable, so I started recording our conversations so I could make soundboard buttons out of Dev's quotes. I really wasn't trying to bait him into saying bad things, but I did ask him suspicious questions to hear weird or funny answers. Like sometimes I ask about topics like age of consent because it's an inside joke between me and my friends. If he gave a silly answer, I would share it with my friends. One friend took some of his quotes way too seriously and started saying that he sounds like a predator and that we need to expose him. I have a hard time saying no, so I agreed to what he said. I shared every recording to a YouTuber named Ali, and she started making a video out of it. When Bug, the friend, started sharing clips of the video on TikTok, I realized that he was twisting it. In the video, Ali made it seem like Dev sought me out and called me, which isn't true. I DM'd him first, and I called him, not the other way around. I decided that the whole thing was blowing up in a really stupid way and told everyone involved that I didn't want them to use my illegally taken recordings to make a video anymore. Ali really wants to release the video though, so she keeps trying to manipulate me into thinking that I am a grooming victim. Even after I revoked my consent and told her to stop multiple times, she still plans to release the video. Girls at school saw the TikToks and they recognized my voice, so now this stuff has spilled over into real life. Ali said she is making this video to protect victims, but if she releases the video, things will just get worse for me at school and hurt his career. I keep trying to say this all in their subreddit, but they ban me and delete my threads when I do. It's ironic that they call this place North Reddit, but they're silencing me just because I am not supporting their narrative. Here are screenshots of the times when I told Ali not to use my recordings, and she totally ignored my wishes. Note the super manipulative languages she uses, so gross. I do not think that Dev is a groomer, I do not feel traumatized by him, and I'm making this post to say that I oppose what Ali is doing, and no matter what she does to try to protect my identity, she is still harming me by releasing this video. She could have been trying to bait him even, and it is still his responsibility. He knows this. He 100% knows this. Honey, I'm sorry, but your friend is right. If I were your friend and I heard that, honestly, I'd be pretty pissed. Your friend is trying to protect you. The girl says the video makes it sound like he was the one that sought her out, and I don't know if she means like the actual video or the TikToks, because I haven't seen the TikToks. I don't know if there's any sort of difference, but as for the video, no, it doesn't. But that doesn't mean that he is absolved from responsibility. Just because he wasn't actively fishing doesn't mean that he didn't still have the rod and bait in his hand, dude. He has the tools, he knows better, she does not, clearly. And the godforsaken. Okay, I don't know what state she is living in, but in most states, it is legal to record a Discord call without the other party knowing. It's usually a punishable offense when it's a third party recording a conversation between two other non-consenting parties. So basically, eavesdropping or hacking was probably involved in that kind of scenario. Obviously, that's an offense, but a girl casually recording her Discord conversations is not going to get you into any serious trouble. Whoever is feeding her this information needs to dial it back by like 1,000. It's also super crazy that she's able to say Allie, the person making the video, is the one manipulating her and not the one who's actually manipulating her. While it sucks about stuff bleeding into her real life at school and all that, I'm sorry, but that's just kind of the result of this sort of thing regardless. Some kid in high school is talking to like a known creep e-celeb. Like, honey, it's gonna blow up no matter what. But here's the thing, it will have its 15 minutes, it will die down, fizzle out. Kids will move on to the next big drama to talk about. Your life will go on, you will move on and grow and change as life goes on. But if this didn't come out, Yandev could still be talking to young girls, taking it further and further each time, until a real crime happens. Until a real life is actually ruined. She mentioned some screenshots. Let's read those. You could step away from the internet for a while after the release if it'll help. At least that way you won't have the situation hanging over you and continuing to worry about it. There's nothing Alex can do to you. I promise you are safe. He's just having a tantrum and trying to avoid consequences for his own actions, being his usual asshole manipulative self. You will have friends, you'll have support, everyone is here for you and wants to see you happy and well on the other side of this. I just don't want it uploaded right now. And we'll hold off on it for now, but I really believe it's a mistake. I don't want you to regret not coming forward as you always encouraged other victims to do. I can't handle it, maybe in the future, but right now I have so much going on. I feel like you're being really unfair to yourself. It's a mess of emotions, believe me, I've been there. But I know for a fact that you don't want to let that creep win and continue abusing people. Don't let him scare you off like that. You deserve better than that. I just don't want it. I know you do. Maybe not in this moment because you're scared. I know you are. We all are. If you didn't want it, you wouldn't have worked this hard and pushed as much to expose him. Don't be afraid of Alex. He shouldn't be allowed to win after all you've done. You owe it to yourself to see this through. And it will help other victims of his as well, and he'll never be able to hurt anyone again. I know that is precisely what you wanted. You've talked more about other victims than yourself, so I know how much you care and how much you want to help them. I wasn't joking or bullshitting when I said you're a person worth looking up to, because you're doing so much for so many. I'm feeling very uncomfortable with the entire situation. I'd like the video to not be released. I'm sorry for having you work on it for so long for no good reason. I don't want the video to be released. I know, and I completely understand. This is a scary thing to confront head on. Is there anything I can do to help? It is your decision, but honestly I feel like delaying it by now would be a mistake, now that the audio has already been released and so many people are anticipating the video very soon. I would feel awful if this situation is left hanging over your head and you don't get closure from this, because you deserve closure and to be done with this. I promise you will feel better once we're on the other side, and I will be here to help you with anything you need the whole time. I feel like my best option right now is just not to be public. Delete my TikTok, ghost the online friends involved, and not talk about it. In the future, if I truly feel traumatized, I will absolutely revisit the topic, but right now I'm stressed, and I don't think the video would help right now. I really believe that's just the fear talking now that we're so close. There's nothing Alex can do to hurt you. You deserve to finish this, Jelly. Please believe me when I say you'll feel such immense relief once everyone sees him for what he really is. It will help you so much. You've been telling me that you'd scrap the video and that it's my choice. Could you please just not release it? I'm scared for the outcome. I'm also overwhelmed by a lot of things right now. I just don't want it. I need you to please keep the video unreleased. Jelly, please take some time offline and connect with some IRL friends or family who can support you, and think about the honest truth. There are other adults who find this relationship and behavior of his conducive to I understand that you don't want to feel like you're ruining his life, but he is responsible for his own actions. Touch grass. I'm uploading anyways. in my personal opinion, y'all, Ollie sounds pretty reasonable. It's really disappointing that Jelly has had so much stress and fear put in her that she can take these and like twist them into being manipulative language, while the real manipulative language goes under the radar. I feel bad because respecting the victim and all of that is important, and I understand she just wants to brush it all under the rug and make it disappear because that's what she thinks is gonna be the easiest solution. But Yandev's behavior won't just like disappear. If this has happened to her, it's probably happened to others behind the scenes. Probably going to happen again and again. That is, before all of this came out. She might feel like hell at present, but she can heal and become stronger, her life goes on, etc. But him, well, let's take a look at the results for him. AKA forced to take accountability. I'm sorry. Posted on September 25th, 2023 by Yanderedev. Hi. You've probably heard some really concerning stuff over the last few days. You might have seen a video that has left you feeling worried, disappointed, and wondering what I have to say for myself. There's a part of me that wants to say, no, you don't understand, the video was edited in an extremely dishonest and misleading way, blah 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 blah. But no, I'm not gonna focus on that. There's a part of me that wants to do what I usually do, and type out a massive essay where I over-explain absolutely every single detail about the situation, provide context to absolutely everything, go point by point down the list of every possible fact that could make this situation easier to understand. Yandev, there's nothing more needed to understand. You were flirting with a teenager, and the story. But no, I'm not gonna do that. This isn't a blog post about actually, you see. I didn't really do anything all that bad if you consider all the facts. I'm just gonna take accountability and own up to a really, really huge mistake that I've made. He is the most actually person on earth, I swear to God. He's like that really irritating guy in school. You know the kind I'm talking about, who has to be like right about everything. He has a lot of opinions that is very fiery about that you really need to hear about and respect, but he has like no ability to parse the thoughts and feelings of others. He's living in his own universe, he's his own MC, completely disregards others, but then is angry at the world around him because they don't like him. Shocker. This is the kind of guy I would avoid talking to because they would always like crush on me, but then like have zero ability to actually like care for another person, and I'd want to dodge that. Also, if you think the minuscule details are going to change the overarching outlook, I need you to do some deep inner reflection, like to really look inwards. I know that's hard because you've never tried, but I need you to do some hard reflection. A few months back, a fan of the game DM'd me and wanted to chat. I normally just turn fans away and tell them that I'm busy, but in this case, the fan seemed really funny and interesting, so I agreed to talk. After 2 months, I agreed to do a voice chat with her. Right off the bat, she let me know that she was 16. At the time, I didn't even perceive this as a problem. What do I care what her age is? She's just a funny fan of the game who wants to talk to me, that's no big deal. I rationalized to myself that this was fine. This was massive mistake number 1, more to follow. We talked for a while and eventually I started to feel really comfortable speaking to her. I started to talk to her the same way I'd speak to any of my other friends. Like she was one of the guys. I made the same type of vulgar jokes that I'd make when voice chatting with my other friends. This was an absolutely unacceptable mistake. No grown-up should ever use adult language or make adult jokes in the presence of a minor. Just because I felt really comfortable speaking to her, that doesn't make it okay. That's no excuse, not in the slightest. Occasionally, she would say something flirty towards me. Most of the time, I would shut that down immediately and refuse to reciprocate. However, there were times where I didn't shut it down and let her talk to me that way without stopping her. Obviously, it goes without saying that this was absolutely not okay. This was the point in time where I should have instantly disengaged and ended all contact with her. In any interaction between an adult and a minor, it is the adult's responsibility to put an immediate stop to any inappropriate behavior. There's absolutely no excuse for tolerating this as if it was okay. I didn't want to be a buzzkill, or I didn't want to ruin the vibes, or we were just having a lighthearted, jokey conversation. Didn't really feel like anything wrong was happening. Are not acceptable excuses in the slightest. At some point, she started recording our conversations so that she could share my jokes with her friends. However, one of her friends interpreted my remarks as showing sexual interest in her. They convinced her that I was trying to groom her, and that she should release all of her recordings to expose me. Her friend pressured her into providing the recordings to a drama YouTuber who began producing a video about the situation. A preview of the video revealed that the intention of the video would be to characterize me as a /groomer by presenting clips of the conversation that sounded Obviously, didn't matter how the recordings were made public because the entire situation never should have been allowed to happen in the first place. I'm just explaining why such a video even exists. Watching the recordings of the way I interacted with her has been mortifying for me. I keep thinking, I actually did that, and you goddamn idiot, whenever I'm reminded of something inappropriate that I said in conversation with her. I'm not going to spend a million years belaboring this point, but I want you to know that I've been kicking myself nonstop since this situation happened. I feel disgust and disappointment in myself on a level that I have never felt in my entire life. It was foolish, extremely damn foolish, for me to think to myself that it was possible to rationalize an adult becoming friends with a minor, because no matter what the adult's intentions are in the beginning, there are so many potential things that could go wrong involving an adult and a minor alone together that the scenario should have never been allowed to happen in the first place. Not to mention the inherent power balance, etc. I could write out every single reason why an adult and a minor can't have a meaningful relationship, but then this blog post would be twice as long. Over the years, a lot of people have contacted me to tell me that they look up to me, they admire me, that I inspired them. Right now, I'm thinking about all the people who ever said those words towards me, and that my actions have completely invalidated their words. No, someone who makes this kind of mind-numbingly stupid mistake is not admirable or inspiring. I'll let the fans down. I keep saying that to myself over and over. Years of trying my best to prove that I'm not the bad guy that people say I am, and then I go and screw up so badly that I retroactively vindicated some of the hate that has been directed at me. It's ironic. I've always tried so hard to disprove the hateful remarks that people make about me by doing the opposite of what they expect of me. For example, if people say I'm lazy, I respond by working more hours than usual. If people say I'm greedy, I respond by turning down opportunities to make more money. If people say I'm interested in minors, I respond by adding rules to my Discord server to actively discourage minors from participating. At every turn, I try my absolute best to disprove every ignorant and hateful false accusation that people make about me. And now look what I've gone and done. Instead of doing everything in my power to disprove the allegations that I am attracted to kids, I made some remarks that sounded really questionable. I'm not even going to say it only sounds bad because it's out of context. If only you had the context, you'd understand it wasn't so bad. I'm just gonna own up to this one. The fact that it even happened at all is bad, regardless of the context. There's no excuse. It is an outright f*** up, pure and simple. After that video went public, some of the game's volunteers started receiving harassment and abusive messages. Several of them have already contacted me to inform them they can no longer be associated with me or my project, and want me to remove their assets from the game. I get it. There's a part of me that wants to profusely beg them to reconsider, but whatever they decide, I'm going to respect their wishes. It's one thing to make a stupid mistake that results in self-humiliation. It's another thing to make a mistake that affects all of the people who associate with me. However, it's a mistake on an entirely different level to make a mistake that involves an inappropriate interaction with a minor. At this point in time, it's difficult to determine how much of this is going to impact the development of Yandere Simulator. I have to replace a huge number of assets, hundreds of voice-acted lines, for example. I won't lie, that's going to be a pretty big setback. I really only have myself to blame for it though. For what it's worth, I'd like to make you aware of the fact that the fan I spoke to has expressed her feelings on the situation. You can find her post here, and that's the Reddit post I already read. I feel like it's gonna take a really long time for me to forgive myself for such a stupid mistake, but as a first step, I've donated $1,000 to RAIN, an organization that provides care and benefits to survivors of abuse, and e-post receipts. I know that it doesn't instantly wash away my bad decisions, but I hope it demonstrates that I'm willing to do whatever feels necessary to begin atoning for my mistakes. I'd like to apologize to my volunteers, to my fans, and to anyone who ever called themselves my friend. I am truly and sincerely sorry. Actions speak louder than words though, so I'm going to try my hardest to grow as much as I can from this and make absolutely sure that nothing even remotely similar to this happens in the future. Edit! Please don't bash the fan who DM'd me. That's the last thing I want. I have two major things to say about this. First being, he did as he should have. This is about what I would have wanted in a response to a situation like this. This is the closest to taking accountability that I think you could reasonably get. I'm glad he's able to say, hey, none of this should have happened. Most importantly, he's put on the spot. He's been banned from Twitch. He's been forced to address his behavior. This means a W in regards to him potentially doing this again. It's very unlikely. This is the win that we've needed for years. However, there's a glaring issue I have. Setting aside the W, it is clear though that he is not fully understanding the scope of the situation. The constant tricklings of Well, I could go into context within his apology that he truly believes would dampen the situation. He, in his heart, believes that he wasn't fully at fault, or that it wasn't that bad. I think it's that he's really digging at the textbook, like dictionary meaning of grooming, and convincing himself that he wasn't really truly doing that when that's not exactly the issue. He's seeing it as it being when a person builds an emotional connection with someone to get something out of them down the road, and in his head, he probably truly had no intentions of getting anything out of her, which is fine, but whether or not he was doing textbook grooming, he was still engaging in private, personal, and conversations with a minor. Despite the context, the intent, the actions of the minor, it's still a no. It's as simple as that. What I think needs to happen though is he needs to be off the internet. No ability to access minors. He needs a job where he can like put his programming skills to use, maybe have some sort of office job where he is not in the eyes of the public. He's not entitled to his career. He is not entitled to internet fame or e-money that he gets off of his supporters who have 2 peanuts for brains and money to waste. That is the most ideal situation on top of his apology. Okay, girls and ghouls, that's my thoughts. That's the update on the situation. Let me know yours in the commentos below. I am a little bit too sick for a meaty outro, so this will have to do. See you in the next one, Ghouligans. Haunt you later. Bye bye.